Stop condemning yourself. I know you fell. I know you hate that part of yourself. I know your flesh can be hard to avoid, but you have to stop letting your stumble determine how you walk. We have to remember that all of us have a thorn. All of us have sin that we struggle with. All of us have something that we really want to run to at times because it will temporarily satisfy us. We all have something that we have been exposed to or struggle with. We can struggle with drinking, smoking, partying, self-validation, validation from other people, lust, pornography, greed, covetousness. We can keep going on and on, right? We all struggle with things. And when we fall in certain areas, we condemn ourselves. We put ourselves in these pools of guilt and shame. And we remember how much we messed up. And we're like, Lord, you can't use me, blah, 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 blah. And we continue to put ourselves in the situation or put ourselves in feelings that are not from the Lord. Even Paul, someone who wrote like all of the New Testament basically almost, he said, I have a thorn in my side I just can't get rid of. I just can't get rid of it. Like, man, I just wish I didn't have this thing, right? Like, I wish I didn't have this thorn. Like, I've been there and you've probably been there where you're like, man, like, there's this thing I just keep struggling with. I keep running back to, I don't know why. Like, why does my flesh keep winning? You know what I mean? And I think something that we do as believers, we just put so much pressure on ourselves to be perfect. And that's just, Jesus never asked of that. Because if the requirement was to be perfect in terms of like being while we're in our physical bodies, because yes, Jesus' blood washes us clean of our sins. And when we take our last breath, we are seen as righteous because of what Jesus has done on the cross for us. And in terms of like us in our physical bodies right here on earth, you know, if it required us to be perfect, then look at the thief on the cross. Like, he's not getting in. Look at everybody in the Bible outside of Jesus. Nobody gets in. You know, like none of us are perfect. Like, man, freaking David fell to Bathsheba. Peter denied Jesus 3 times. Mary was a prostitute. We can keep going on and on, right? Like, even look at myself. Like, man, I used to struggle with so much. And I'm just like, man, like, why do you want me? But then, like, I have this, and you do too, probably, this sense of, like, man, I have to be perfect. Like, I have to do this right, I have to do that right. And then we've talked about this before. Like, I do good, so I am good. I do bad, so I am bad. That's just not the gospel. It's the fact that Jesus is good. That's why I get to make it into heaven. What Jesus did is why I'm seen as righteous in God's eyes. I mean, just look at the woman caught in the act of adultery. And I'm not going to read the full story, but like it's like after Jesus saves the woman from getting stoned to death, he says, he among you without sin cast the first stone at her. Jesus straightened up, and the woman, he says, where are they? Has no one condemned you? No, sir. She said, no one has condemned me. And then he says, neither do I condemn you. Now go and sin no more. It's not as if he expects perfection out of us, but like we are actively trying to live holy lives. We're doing whatever we can to not fall in those areas that we struggle in. We've talked about this before in the lust and pornography videos. Like, if you struggle with porn, like, don't put yourself in a situation to fail. If you struggle with having sex with people, don't put yourself in a position to fail. Don't go to her house. Don't go to his house. Lock up your phone. Don't respond to that DM. If you struggle with alcohol, don't go to a bar. Don't go to a party. If you struggle with smoking, stay away from a gas station so you don't buy cigarettes. If you just stay away from those friends that smoke weed all the time. You know, it's like we have to do these things. Do whatever we can. We have to deal with our sin aggressively to not fall in the areas that the Lord calls us to not be in. He calls us, yes, to be holy as he is holy, but he understands that we fall. We fall. There are days where you're doing so well. It's like, we can use porn as an example. There are days like you're, oh man, I'm doing well. I haven't fell in a long time. It's been like 3 months. I haven't watched anything at all. And then boom, you fall. And yes, like I said, it's not just face value things, but like you fall. And you're like, dang it, man, like I'm bad, I'm horrible, I'm disgusting, I'm filthy. Or it's like, man, you fall back into smoking, drinking, or whatever it is for you. Like, obviously those are very cliche, quote unquote, sins, but like, they still matter. It's even the same thing. It's like, man, I just want to be more generous, but this person asking for money, or this homeless person asking for money, and my church is asking for money, and I have to pay this bill, and I want to be, just gotta hold on more. Or it's whatever, you're disobedient in the area the Lord calls you to be in, and when you fall, you beat yourself up. Like, I get it. Like, I've been there. And there are days where I'm still there. Even a couple of days ago, I was like, man, Lord, I fell. Like, man, like, damn, my freaking flesh. Like, I want to do so good. Like, I really do, Lord. I want to be better. I want to be holy. I even said, Lord, forget about me once. I was like, Lord, forget about me. I'm not worthy to carry this cup that you've called for me. And why am I acting like, we talked about this last time, why am I acting like the Lord can't use me? Like, Who am I to think that the Lord can use me? You know what I mean? Like, who are you to think that the Lord can't use you? The Lord knows exactly what he's getting himself into, and he wants to. He allows us to have fellowship with him again. And I want you to also understand it's a very good thing that you feel bad. Oh my goodness, hit the freaking mic. It's a very good thing that you feel convicted. That's signs of like the God being a father to you. That's signs of the God like helping you get to the spot that you need to be, helping you overcome these strongholds, helping you overcome these addictions, so you don't fall back. So you can look back over, you're like, man, I haven't fell in that sin in forever. I don't even have a taste for that anymore. I think if you can sin and go to sleep, you have a real problem. You have to really ask the Lord to help me understand what I'm doing is right or wrong. Like, you should not be able to sin willingly, because obviously we sin unwillingly at times. We don't know what we do at times. But when you willingly choose to do something, you willingly choose to watch that video, you willingly choose to sleep with that person outside of marriage, you willingly smoke that, you willingly drink that, you willingly party, you willingly greedy. Like, when you choose a lifestyle of sin, and you feel no conviction. I can just go to bed. Oh, I love Jesus, but I can just do whatever I want. Like, no, like that's not how it works. If you don't feel a level of conviction, ask the Lord for that, because you need it and I need it. But understand, it's a good thing that you feel that conviction. Do not get the conviction and condemnation mixed up. Condemnation says that you are unworthy, and God says, I chose you. Condemnation says that you're terrible, and God says you're beautiful. You know, we can keep going down the list, but understand, we have to remember whose we are. We have to remember what he says about us. And if we do not combat that stuff with scripture, of course we're going to stay in those pits of guilt and shame. Of course we're going to beat ourselves up. Of course we're going to stay in that self-condemnation. Of course. In Matthew 24, Jesus tells Peter to watch and pray so that you will not fall into temptation, for the spirit is willing but the flesh is weak. We really desire to be holy at times. We really desire to want to do the right thing. That's the spirit of the Lord in us. But our flesh is weak, so we struggle with things. In Galatians, it talks about how the spirit is against the flesh and the flesh is against the spirit. These two things are against each other, so it prevents you from doing the things you want to do. So the thing that you feed more, and you know how it says, like, you are a slave to what you obey. So don't put yourself in situations to fail. Continue to run to the Lord with those things. Continue to run to the Lord. Always run to him, even when you fall. When you're at your highest mountain or your lowest valley, run to Jesus. We have to understand too, we cannot let a stumble determine how you walk. If you were to trip outside and you just stay there, and you're like, man, I'm embarrassed, like everybody saw me, or like I'm the only one here, oh man, that fall hurt, I kind of scraped my knee. Of course you're not going to move anywhere, you're not going to make any progress, because you're choosing to stay there. You have to get back up. What does it say? The righteous man falls, but get to 7 times. Like, get up and continue to walk back towards Jesus. We cannot let our stumble determine how we walk. We can't fall and be like, man, Lord, I'm sorry, just use somebody else. I can't do it anymore. Or Lord, I fell. I'm too dirty. Lord, don't look at me. We've said all of these things before, but he says, get up. Remember who you are. It's time for you to stand up. Don't stay there. Yes, you fell. I do not affirm your sin, but if you run to me, I can help you overcome, because I have overcome. Do not let your stumble determine how you walk. And it doesn't have to start tomorrow. It can start now. You probably just fell. You probably just watched that video. You probably just got off a party drunk. You probably just smoked that. You probably just fill in the blank for you. You're probably in this pool of guilt and shame and self-condemnation. Don't stay there. It can start now. Get up and walk. Pick up your mat and walk. Keep going. Keep going. Focus your eyes back on how good our God is and not how bad we can be. I keep hitting the mic. It even talks about in Romans 7, where Paul is talking about the things I want to do, I don't do, the things I don't want to do, I continue to do. Like, dang it, man. Like, why do I keep running to this sin? Why do I keep running to my flesh? Why do I keep pleasing my flesh? Like, I want to be holy. I want to read my Bible more. I want to pray more. I want to be more involved in church. I want to be more generous. Like, I want to be holy. But my flesh is always combating me. And I keep falling to that sin. I keep running to everything else but Jesus. I can help so many other people but myself. Like, we've all said that to ourselves at a point. And if you haven't already, you probably will eventually. But I just want to remind someone to understand, like, anyone who was crushed under the weight of self-condemnation, all your mistakes, you keep looking back at your past, all your guilt, all your shame, all of whatever it was, whoever's crushed under that weight, to think that the Lord can't use you, to think that the Lord doesn't love you, to think that the Lord doesn't forgive you when you ask, to think you're too dirty, to think you're too far gone. to think he's tired, that you think he's mad at you. I just want to say the devil's a liar. I rebuke that. Jesus never will affirm our sin because sin keeps us from him. But anyone with a humble heart, anybody with a repentant heart, he can restore. If he can restore anyone, there's nothing you've done that's bigger than his love. Nothing. There's nothing that you have done that's stronger than his blood. His blood is strong enough. If it wasn't, then the cross wasn't enough. But the cross is enough. The cross is and forever will be enough because Jesus was and is to come. Everything that he has done, he said it is finished. So we have to believe in what he says, believe that the cross is enough. And we can't stay in the pools of guilt and shame. And I'm a person that's guilty of that. I used to fall and fall and fall, and I still fall and fall and fall. Especially when I was really green and early in my faith, I used to fall like, oh man, the Lord's mad at me. Like, I keep falling back. I like, oh, what? Like, I want to be used. But like, no, the Lord can still use you. Yeah, you probably fell last night, but he can still use you today. Yeah, you probably fell a couple of hours ago, but he can still use you right now. And then when you ask the Lord, please remove the taste of that sin, the desire of that sin, he will do it. I don't know if that's tomorrow. I don't know if that's 10 days from now, a week from now, or a year from now, 10 years from now. You know what I mean? It's like, but when you genuinely run to him, you say, Lord, remove the taste of this sin out of my life. He will honor that. Humility is what Jesus is looking for. Humility is something that is attractive to the Lord. Humility is something that people can look at and be like, Daniel said he really struggles in this area and he needs help and he can't do it under his own strength. So he's leaning on Jesus, still allowing him to use him after he did X, Y, and Z. He still has a smile on his face, but he's genuinely repented. Man, I can do that too. Set the example. Remember who you are. It's time for you to stand up and show out who you are. Be who Jesus has called you to be. He did not say be perfect. And we have to understand, Jesus understands us. He came down as a human. He was tempted with everything that we were tempted with. He did not sin. He gave us the blueprint on what we need to do. And he tells us what to do. We just have to choose to follow him. Choose to follow him. You can still be used by him if you let him. Don't allow your mistakes to determine your walk. Don't allow your guilt to block the commandments of the Lord. Don't allow the shame to keep you hindered. It's time for you to get up and be who God has called you to be. Life is full of stumbling, tripping, and mountains that are hard to overcome at times. And I want you to understand that you're not alone in this. And even the greatest people that you see still have a thorn in their side. We're going to be dealing with sin our entire lives because why? Until the Lord calls us out of this body, because we have this thing called flesh on. There'll be a day where we don't have to worry about it, but don't allow your stumble to determine how you walk. It's time for you to get up and be the man and be the woman that God has called you to be. Be the salt and the light, be the greatest example, and do your best every single day to live a whole